Hi Foxes, and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. This is one of my weekly what sold videos, and every Monday at 8 a.m. I put out a what sold video so that you can see what is selling in the vintage world for me. And I sell on Poshmark and Etsy, and I try to sell on eBay, but I'm not very good at it. And then I just added a new platform called Thrilling. So if you are interested in seeing what sold on all of those platforms, primarily vintage, then stick around. So this video is going to be for the week of March 29th all the way to April 4th. And we are going to start with my newest platform, which is Thrilling. So the first thing that I sold was this mint floral romper by Westport. This did have two small flaws, but it was a size 2X. It got a lot of attention on all the different platforms, but it got the most attention on Thrilling. And that one sold for... $43.99. Now Thrilling takes a 10% commission, and then they pay once a week via PayPal. So, yeah, they send money via PayPal after your 10% commission that you pay. And the buyers on Thrilling pay for shipping, so you don't have to worry about that. And the next thing that I sold on Thrilling was this 1960s like maxi dress slash tunic with hot shorts. The hot shorts were like velvet, black velvet, and then the maxi dress had like this corset lace up top. I got this from another reseller who is clearing out her vintage inventory. She did not want to deal in vintage anymore. And so, yeah, she sold me a huge lot of items, and this one sold for $145.99, and my cost of goods was about $7 for that. After I averaged out everything that I picked up for her, it was about $7 a piece. And then my last sale on Thrilling for that week was on March 31st, and I sold these 1970s linen pleated trousers. These came from the big estate buy that I did, so my cost of goods was about $10 on that. And let's see, they sold for $54.99. So I was very happy with my sales on Thrilling for that week. I mean, for being a new platform, I've honestly been getting more sales than I initially expected. I wasn't sure what to expect from, you know, sort of like a budding platform, but people are on there and they're buying, and because there's a limited number of sellers, there is a limited number of like stock for them to look through, and so I feel like I am getting some sales from Thrilling, and I have been keeping it updated and cross-posting to Thrilling, and so I'm very happy with that. Next up, we are going to go over Etsy sales, and let's see. So again, let me double check my dates. Okay, so it is the 29th to the 4th, and so on the 29th I sold these vintage Dex comfort loafers. They were still in the box. I picked these up in a estate sale for $2, and someone came in and bought them on 50% off sale, and so they sold for around $19 plus shipping. I was actually just really happy to kind of like get these out. I felt like they had been listed for a long time. They probably hadn't really been listed that long, but it was just like that feeling, you know. And the next thing was March 29th, and that was this vintage 90s fanny pack from Eastsport. I'm pretty sure I picked this up at the Goodwill bins a long while ago, and it's just not something that I was very like excited about, so it took a really long time for me to list. And then I also wasn't excited to have it in my closet or in my Etsy store, so I put it on 50% off sale, and someone came in and bought it for $12.50. I hope that they enjoy it. It was in great shape, but yeah, not upset to see that go. Another one that sold on half off was this Goodnight Moon children's book. This I got at the bins, and my kids really loved this book. So if you know the book Goodnight Moon, this is like an interactive book where you open it up and there's all these little things that you can do. Like you can make the three bears sit down in the chair, and you can lift the flap on the balloon, and you can pick up the telephone, and then when you get to the end, it's like this fold out, and you fold the floor down, and you've got like the room from Goodnight Moon, and you can like spin the fire in the fireplace to make it move, and you can make the little bunny sit up in bed. So it's just like a really cute book. It's from, I think, the 90s. They don't make it anymore. It's out of print. And it had a lot of love. It had a broken spine. It had some repairs that I had done to it, you know, just from my kids playing with it and whoever owned it before us. And yeah, so I disclosed all of that. I had it listed for $65. They came in and bought it at half off, and it sold for $32.50 and then went all the way to the UK, so they paid $24.70 in shipping. I think the important part here was that even though it was well loved, all of the parts still worked. You could still, you know, do everything in the room and lift all the flaps, and like nothing was missing. But yeah, if you come across that book, pick it up. It's a really good one to sell and very rare. This apron came as... So I went to this estate sale. I bought a ton of like knitwear there. It was at the end of the day. Someone had come through and literally picked the closets clean, and the only things that were left were the knitwear that the woman made herself, and she was a very good knitter, and then this like historical costume dress, presumably for some sort of like reenactment situation. We have a couple of those around here because it's New England. And yeah, so this was in the closet, and it was in like a dry cleaning bag, and no one took it. And it was a dress, a bonnet, a shawl, and this apron, and I think like an underskirt as well. And so I picked it up because I thought it was pretty cool, and I could just like part it out. I didn't want to sell it as a whole. I wanted to break it up and then sell the different parts. So I thought that this apron was super cottagecore, and I listed it. It was made for someone who's larger, so like a 1X, 2X, and it sold pretty quickly, I think within a couple of days of listing, and it sold for $45.99 plus like shipping and sales tax, and went to Texas, so that was fun. And then I included like a bonnet with it that I didn't know what else to do with. I didn't want to sell it individually, so. Next up was a pair of cut-off Levi's shorts. I don't remember where I picked up these shorts, but they were super boring, and so I cut off the hem to the shorts and then washed them and distressed them, and then I distressed the legs a little bit, and it still wasn't enough, so I added some embroidery last summer. Just while I was at the lake house, I just did some embroidery while I was sitting on the porch. They did a couple of daisies, and these sold for $37.99, which was my asking price, with shipping and sales tax. So I just thought it was fun to take a boring old pair of Levi's and just add a little something special on there. So next up was this Hannah Anderson plaid dress. It was like a midi length dress. I've had this listed for a little bit, I think since last summer, but it did sell at my full asking price of $55.99. I think it was just the right time of year, and it sold to someone in New York, so I was excited to see that go. And then my last sale on Etsy was this top that I picked up at Savers. I think I paid $7 for it, and it was just so cute with the little embroidery on the pocket and then the little flower buttons, and it was a size 2X. It's a linen blend. I just thought it was very cute. It looked like something that Modcloth would sell right now. And I listed it miraculously very soon after purchasing it, like a day or two. That never happens, you guys. I am not that quick on the uptake about listing what I'm buying actively, but I did list this and it sold within an hour or 2 hours of listing on Etsy. So it sold for $34.99 plus shipping and all that jazz. So I was happy to see that go to a new home. And that was it for Etsy. Let's see. Now we're going to go to eBay. So I've been genuinely trying on eBay. I've gone back in and added more item details to all of my listings. So I've added more attributes, and I decided to do 1% promoted listings. So anything that I edited, I added 1% promoted listings, and I feel like I'm seeing a little bit more traction, but I feel like maybe I just don't have enough stuff listed. I only have 100 items. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm still playing with it. So on Etsy, eBay, I sold this Modcloth skirt on April 2nd, and it was a size 4X. As I was going through and updating all the information, I also decided to go ahead and send out offers to people who would like the items. I think it's called offer to watchers on eBay, and they countered back on this one with 25, and I went ahead and accepted that. I had about $5 into it. It came in like a mystery lot of Modcloth stuff that I purchased off of Poshmark, and each piece averaged out to about $5 or $6. So I was happy with that. But yeah, it's still just really slow. Still just like one item or so a week. And unfortunately, the comic book that I sold the week before that I hunted everywhere for got returned. So they said that the way that I shipped it had like creased the edges. I got it back. It looks exactly the same as when I sent it. I can only, I don't know. So I gave a full refund, and I'll just try and resell that. But I was like, you don't make me really not like eBay. Like, I just don't really like eBay on just like a personal level. Like I don't like it, but I'm still trying. So if you have any eBay tips, leave them down below for me. I tried Googling, how to list on eBay to like make more sales, and I just got a bunch of really generic stuff, like which attributes are actually important and which ones can I skip, because going in and listing 12 attributes for a top is really, really annoying, and I just don't know if I can do it. Like Etsy has 5 or 6 that you have to do, and that's bad enough. But eBay is just taking it to a next level, and there's too many drop downs, and I just really don't like it. So if you can give me your tips, I would greatly appreciate it. Just let me know what you're doing. Be great. I did see that Reseller Assistant is now offering eBay cross-posting, but they said that it takes like 24 to 48 hours to cross-post all of your listings from Poshmark to eBay. So I'm thinking they probably don't they probably just like Vendu it, you know, or they're just like, oh yeah, it's listed. But I don't think that's the right way to do it to get actual sales. So I don't know. So let's go to Poshmark. On Poshmark, I sold this JCrew silver chunky chain necklace. I was actually kind of surprised at how long this took to sell, considering that all of my vintage chunky chain necklaces sold like that. But this took probably 7 or 8 months to sell. But it did sell for $28 and no shipping discount on that one. And I paid $1 for it, so after fees and everything, made $21.40. And then I sold this Modcloth dress that I had purchased on, I believe, ThreadUp. Let me just double check that. But it was cute. I don't think that I would buy it again. It took a really long time to sell. I paid $6 for this on ThreadUp, so I think I probably bought it from the outlet section, and I was probably thinking like, oh, I would pick this up if I were in the, sorry about that, if I were in the thrift store, and I would pay $6 because my Goodwill charges $6. So after my cost of goods and the fees, I made $14 on this one, which is not terrible, but it's not something that I would do again. It also took a really long time to sell. This is a pink Fair Isle cardigan. I had this in my cottagecore haul video, and I listed it and then got an offer on it fairly quickly. I think within the same day or next day. I had it listed for, I want to say $67, and someone offered me $45. It is spring going into summer, so I was like, how long do I want to sit on this giant sweater? I don't. And then I had paid, I think, like $5 for it at Goodwill. So I was happy to move that on, $45 after all of the fees. I got $36, and then after my cost of goods, I made about $30 to $31 on that. This was a necklace that came in a giant lot of necklaces that I bought at an estate sale. I was very happy to see this move. Someone came in and bought it outright for my listed price of $10. I think I had dropped it down from $16 over the course of a few months, just kind of like trying to get people to maybe bundle it with something. Yeah, so after cost of goods, I made about $6.50 on that. And that was just like a side effect, or just like a side thing that I wanted some other stuff that was in the lot, and this was in there too, so instead of donating it, I listed it, so, yeah. Next up was this rectangle straw bag. A viewer actually bought this, and like an Instagram follower, super, super sweet gal. This is her Instagram, and she's just really great, and she does a lot of like, she does some plus size vintage, and then she does some like refashion stuff. She makes like some kids clothes, and then she has Poshmark closet, so just sort of like a jack of all trades and a sweet gal, so go ahead and check her out. She bought this at full asking price of $25. I bought these last year at the yellow tag clearance event at Marshall's, and yeah, I think I paid about $6 for it, so after my cost of goods, I made about $14 on this, and thank you. Okay, so next up was this 1950s cotton candy stripe pastel dress. I bought this for myself, and then I've just decided that I really don't like pink on myself. It does not look good, especially pastel pink. It just really doesn't flatter my skin tone. So I got this, tried it on, did not like it, and I decided to list it. I had paid $50 for it. I knew at the time that I could get more than that for it. I had it listed for quite a while. think I had it listed for $205, and someone came in and offered me $189, and I was like, wow, that's a decent offer. So after Poshmark's fees of $37.80, I made $151.20 less my cost of goods. I made about $100 on that dress. It did take a while to sell, but I really just stuck to my guns with that one. I knew that it would eventually sell for a good price. Next up was a bundle. I feel like this buyer also watches my channel, but I'm not 100%. So she and I were going back and forth, and she bundled a few things. One of them was this apple seeds coat. I bought that at an estate sale. And then this pink embroidered blouse that I picked up from ThredUp for myself, but then remembered that I don't wear pastel pink because it doesn't look good on me, so I decided to sell that. And then this spring like ruffled nautical striped cardigan that I bought at Goodwill. I went one day without my phone and made a lot of interesting buying decisions. And this was one of them. And I bought this on Style. I thought maybe the brand might be something. It had the little like tacked on tags, but it wasn't really. So anyway, she bundled all three of those things together, and she offered me, actually I don't know if she offered it to me or I offered it, but $80 is what she ended up paying. After my cost of goods, I think I made somewhere like 45-ish on this bundle, which is fine with me. So next up was this mirror set. It was like a pale pink polka dot, but the case was, I mean, it was pretty dirty, and I didn't really know how to clean it, so I just had to sell it as is. This was something that I purchased from my friend who decided to get out of selling vintage, and so I sold this one for $25, and after cost of goods, I think I made somewhere around like $17, because I paid about $7 an item for the clothing, and then around $1 to $3 a piece for the smalls, so not too bad on that one. Someone came in and bought these outright, and I was really excited. I bought these from another reseller back when quarantine first started. For some reason I thought that Madewell shoes would do well. It was before Madewell was particularly oversaturated, but they sat for just forever. But someone came in and bought them at full asking price for $38, so that ended up being alright, and I paid about $6 for these, I think, so I made around $24 for those. Not bad. Next up was this Maeve Anthropologie floral tunic. This was really cute. I picked it up at Goodwill. I think I paid about $5 for it, because I do have like a, even though pretty much everything at Goodwill around here is about $6, I have a discount card, and if I buy quantity then I get a discount. So I usually either pay $5.40 or $5 or $4.80. So we're just evening it out and saying that I pay about $5 for these things from Goodwill. So after my cost of goods, I made about $25 on that top. Next up was the Stitch Fix dress. I had this dress, I had like 3 of these, and they were all in the same size, and I modeled it for my Valentine's Day video that I did here on YouTube, and then like took some styled shots, and then I was doing an experiment on Poshmark to see whether the styled modeled shots did better or the dress form shots did better, and it was actually very interesting. Certain styles did not do well and got very few likes, and then between the dress form and the modeled shot. It was like almost an even split with the modeled shot. Here to show you the modeled shot and say that at this point all 3 of the dresses have sold, and the 2 modeled ones sold for $36 and $45, and the one that was on the dress form sold for $25. So even though they got about the same amount of attention, the one that I modeled made like way more money in both cases. That was very interesting to me. I was just trying to see kind of if the dress form is as appealing as modeling, so it was interesting. And my cost of goods on those Stitch Fix pieces was about $5.50, so I made somewhere around $14.50 on this. 2 more things. The second to last thing that sold was this Edwardian blouse. I picked this up on Facebook. I was trying to pull together a bunch of items for like a very 70s boho photo shoot. And then this was before COVID hit. So I wanted to do this photo shoot. I had started buying all of these pieces from a group on Facebook that deals in vintage and antique clothing. And then COVID hit and I didn't get to do that photo shoot. So I ended up just listing a few of the pieces. This was a little bit of a mistake piece. I feel like I could have styled it on a model, but the way that it closed in the back was just very mysterious. It had a little tie at the back of the waist and then nothing on like the upper back or the neck, even though it had a high neck. So I'm not sure, but I was happy that this sold for $50. I think I paid about $20 for it, so I made about $20 on that one. And yeah, it was very beautiful, but just I don't know how you would wear it in a practical sense. The last thing that sold was this JCrew cardigan. It was mine, and I had it listed for quite a while, and it was really getting down to the bottom of like needs to be relisted soon, and someone came in and bought it full price, so I was very happy with that because now I don't have to relist it, and they didn't even make an offer. So this was from my personal closet, so I made $30.40 on that after fees. So that is what I sold this week. I had some really good high dollar sales. I had that 1950s dress with like the cotton candy coloring, and then on Thrilling I had the 2-piece set with the hot shorts, and then just some like good mid-price sales and mid-price bundles, and so it was a pretty good week overall. And yeah, I'm just trying to keep listing because things seem to be selling, so I'm trying to get more stuff out there. Just on the chatty side, I am finding it kind of difficult to list and do like a bunch of YouTube videos, so I am taking the rest of this week off to just work on my business and then hopefully get a YouTube video or 2 pre-filmed. But yeah, I just feel like I have a lot of actual inventory that needs to be taken care of and listed, and so making that happen is pretty important to me right now.
In the backyard, Mama.
What happened?
I went to the yard, Mama.
You went in the backyard?
Yeah, I went to the yard.
Nice job, buddy. That's what you did.
And I watched the ball.
Yeah, you went in the water?
No, I watched the ball. Hit.
Oh, you were hitting the ball?
Yeah, I was watching it. It was a baseball game.
You need to take your shoes off.
Yeah, don't touch. All right, go on out.
And I made class for weeks. Now it's time to go back up and do some more class.
Okay, well, now that I'm covered in dirt and dust, I will see you guys later. Okay.